Time now for the business news, and our business editor Stephen Carroll is with us. Hello again to you, Stephen.
Hi, Alan.
And we're starting off with bumper results from the airline known as the Flying Kangaroo.
Qantas earned its biggest ever profits in the last year. The underlying figure for the Australian airline was $1.5 billion Australian dollars, which is just over €1 billion. That's a massive turnaround for a company that was on the brink of bankruptcy just 2 years ago. Since then, it's undergone painful restructuring, as Catherine Viet now reports.
From record losses to record profits in just 2 years. It was all smiles for Qantas CEO Alan Joyce as he announced the news.
This is the best result in Qantas's 95-year history and the best result in Australian aviation history, full stop.
Under Joyce's watch, the company has gone through a painful restructuring, cutting thousands of jobs and freezing wages, as well as stopping its dividends. These measures have paid off, taking the company from a €1.9 billion loss 2 years ago to just over €1 billion profit this year. The company's also been helped by falling oil prices, saying effective fuel hedging resulted in savings worth more than €440 million. In comparison, Qantas's smaller domestic rival, Virgin Australia, announced last month its full-year net loss more than doubled. Sometimes at odds with the unions over cuts, Joyce's promised staff will receive a bonus of just over €2,000. The airline will also pay shareholders their first dividend in 7 years.
We're seeing in Australia, and a leak of secret information about French-built submarines is causing some controversy.
More than 22,000 documents were leaked relating to submarines that the French firm DCNS is building for the Indian Navy. They detail the top-secret combat capabilities of the Scorpion subs. Now, India's defence minister has claimed the security breach is the result of hacking. Now, the leak was first revealed by the Australian newspaper, and it's causing controversy in that country because earlier this year, DCNS won a €33 billion contract to build 12 subs for the Australian Navy. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull says the leak is of concern.
It's quite a completely different submarine to the Scorpion they're building for India, but we have the highest security protections on all of our defence information, whether it's in partnership with other countries or entirely within Australia.
Let's take a look at the markets now, Stephen. What's been happening this morning?
European shares opening the day in the red. We're seeing falls across London, Paris and Frankfurt. Mining companies and oil firms leading those falls, not being helped by volatility in oil prices. Interestingly, shares in the French defence group Thales, which is a shareholder in DCNS, the company at the centre of that submarine controversy, they're down 2%. In Paris. Over in Asia, we saw the markets continuing to tread water. Investors mostly focused on that meeting of central bankers that begins in the United States tomorrow. As you can see, a mixed picture. The Hang Seng down nearly 1%. Shares in Qantas, though, up 1.5% after their results in Sydney. Some more of today's business headlines for you next. And Tesla has unveiled a new battery for its cars that says it'll make them the fastest mainstream model on the market. It claims the Model S P100D will go from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds. The car will also be able to travel further than before with a maximum range of 315 miles or over 500 kilometres. Shares in the mining company Glencore have opened down 2% in London after it reported a 13% drop in underlying earnings in the first half of the year. The firm's now stepping up plans to cut its debt under a programme unveiled last year to deal with the slump in commodity prices. And the world's biggest advertising company, WPP, says the fall in sterling after the Brexit vote may help fuel a recovery in the advertising market. It says the UK economy was stronger in the 3 months to the end of July than in the previous quarter, but the companies were being cautious with their money. WPP also warning that Britain might go into recession despite the positive results in the month after the vote.
And finally, Stephen, the woman credited with creating the burkini, she says sales have been boosted by the ongoing controversy here in France.
This is the Australian businesswoman Aheda Zanetti. Now, she designed the garment more than 10 years ago and had the name trademarked since. She says that she's seen a jump in orders since several towns in France have banned them from beaches. Zanetti says on Sunday she received 60 online orders. That's 6 times more than usual, all of them from non-Muslim women. She believes, though, the burkini represents freedom and healthy living and not oppression. Good news for her business as well.
Good news for the business. Get your orders in now. Thank you very much. Stephen Carroll,